Thanks for coming, everybody. This is what we're going to talk about today is recording of seminars, interaction with online students, honorariums for graduate student advisors, and then some possible guidelines for literature review. This is not a systematic literature review, but a more traditional literature review. Templates for course scheduling and grant proposal and faculty workshops, ideas that we're thinking about, and a desire that we've had for quite a while that people that teach online get more recognition toward promotion and tenure for their efforts. So we're thinking about certificates, letters to department chairs, and creating a cash and a plaque award for enhanced online teaching that would be awarded at the annual awards banquet. So the first topic is, Laurie and I were talking about the problem that is inherent in online teaching, and that's to distance students, and that's that they can feel isolated. And with our graduate students in particular, once they reach the end of the road, they're going to need to present their final project or their thesis to the faculty online, and yet they haven't been role modeled, like our on-campus students have. It's possible that they've never even seen a graduate or a seminar given by residents or interns, or residents, interns, and graduate students before. So we were thinking that maybe we, if we could, we'd like to record the Friday noon seminars and put them online, probably in the Blackboard organizational site, online graduate student center, so that they could go in there weekly and see how stuff was presented, and also gain from the information that was provided in those seminars. And so Greg's been helping us with some ideas, and all of this is tentative right now, but a working plan is to mount a dedicated camera in here on the ceiling that would capture the podium and over to the other side of the screen so that speakers could move around. So the people, the viewers would be able to see the instructor facing the audience as opposed to the capture that we usually get from the podium. And we'd be able to see the screen and the speaker a little bit better, at least in my mind. I don't like the picture-in-picture stuff where you get a real good picture of the screen and you get virtually no picture of the instructor talking, and it's kind of a distraction. This would be more like what you would really experience in the room. And then it would be posted in the Blackboard site, and our students would be able to go there and look at it. So that's a tentative plan right now. I did talk to Dr. Dotem just a few minutes ago, and he said that he was very much in favor of it and could see other possibilities, perhaps selecting some of the better ones that are given and maybe posting out somewhere else for CE credits. But he's going to go back to the faculty and see if we can get faculty endorsement, and then we'll move ahead. Interaction with online students. We've talked a lot about this in the past and how important it is. It all makes sense, but it's more than that. The Department of Education has a definition for distance education, which is us'ns. We're distance education as opposed to, for the name of the alternative. But distance education, they say that there has to be regular and substantive interaction at least once a week. with an evidence of plan and implementation. And all semester-based courses on MU's campus are categorized as distance education. So we are required to meet that criteria. And student-initiated interaction is not planned interaction. So if a student contacts you and asks you a question, it doesn't count toward this.
Do quizzes count as interaction?
Yes. I'm getting to the good news. That's the bad news. The good news is that we've said from the onset, and we try to help people get their courses set up where they have assignments for students on a weekly basis. So we're trying to make sure that we hit the base, even if we didn't know what we were doing. We were still trying to meet the DOE's requirements, even though we didn't know they existed at that time. It can be regular submission of assignments for faculty, but the assignments can't be something that you just give them a grade on. So, like if you use journals, or if you use the discussion board and the grading tool in the discussion board, you can put the grade in there, but there's also a comment box, and it shows up. I'm pretty sure it shows up in my grades, so when they go in there to look at the grades, they'll see a little short comment. So that would work, although mine are pretty short, and whether other people would think it was substantive would be questionable, but if they know me, it's probably, they would realize it's pretty substantive. Frequent announcements and group emails and surveys all encourage the students to interact with instructors in other ways. So I think another good thing to try to do is to make sure that you put an announcement in every week. But you can use some of these other things. You can do opinion surveys. Have any of you used Quatrix yet? I've just used it recently. It's pretty good. I still like SurveyMonkey too, though. So one of the things that I'd recommend that you do is pay attention to the introductions. We try putting all the courses for the students to introduce themselves in the first week. It's a good idea to go in there and just make some short notes about what do they like to be called by. It might not be their first name, it might be some nickname, and try to use that name when you respond in those little boxes. And in some cases, you might be able to interject something that they said in the past about their background, that might be relative to responding to how they did on an assignment.
Just a comment to make that easier, because I found the Blackboard discussion board so difficult to go back in and find stuff, is I would take relevant information and cut and paste it into a spreadsheet. So I'd have a spreadsheet for my students of like where they're from, what they like to be called, and that type of thing. So I could just go back to like one spot
Yeah,
instead of discussion.
that would be easier.
And so on that initial week when you're doing all the introductions, and I usually comment back on those, I'll just cut and paste parts into a spreadsheet so I can just go to that spreadsheet later, because I hate the discussion board so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that on the critical care, where I just put all their introductions and all my comments in one wiki page, and I put 2016 summer class so that you can just open it up
Mm-hmm.
there and look at it, because it is really hard to.
So what do you do when you don't put introductions in? I've got no student interaction.
I make it a graded part. They get like 5 points for introducing themselves.
Yeah, you can give them points or go in during the week and remind them that they have to do it.
Even like if you email them and said, hey, I noticed you haven't introduced yourself, they still don't introduce themselves?
I get nothing.
Wow.
my introduction out there, you know,
Yeah.
but nothing. I get nothing on the discussion board. The only email I get is, I missed the quiz, can you please take it? I didn't realize there was an announcement or it was in the syllabus and stuff like that. But that's all I get in that report. Nothing.
Well, I think one thing that indicates that they're irresponsible is that we put it in the graduate student ones too. You know, and the graduate students are taking course after course after course, and they still do introductions, you know, even though we know who they are and they've said the same thing in the past. So the fact that your students don't do it, I'd say they're being pretty irresponsible.
Whereas me.
But I just hit them with more reminders until they either do it or,
Well, at this point in the course, it's no.
yeah, it's a little late now. But
That's typical difference between undergrad and graduate, so.
See, it doesn't sound like quizzes meet the criteria. Right?
yeah.
They just score.
Unless you're giving substantial feedback of, and you're writing something about
By quiz.
a quiz, yeah.
But do you go over like the questions that they missed, do you like look over them and say, oh, everybody missed these three?
Well,
Do you
I look
comment
over
on
it,
them?
but
Yeah.
Yeah, if you commented, if you commented after the quiz, it might count. If you said, hey, let's make this a learning experience, it seems like a lot of people had problems with question 7, here's where you went wrong, then that would count.
To get back to the little cheat sheets on the students when they're introducing themselves, one of the things that I'll do, in courses where most of the students are pre-vets and they're already on campus and they're in my zoo with their pictures, I'll go to my zoo and I'll print out their pictures and then cut them out and put them with the information. It helps me remember their names a little bit better and everything. On the graduate program, the MU requires substantial projects, but they really don't have any good description of what is considered a substantial project. And I can understand why, because they've got non-thesis masters in all kinds of different colleges, you know, with different expectations and projects that are meaningful and for them that wouldn't be meaningful for us. I can kind of see that. But I think for us, we need more guidance. And I was hoping that the primary advisors would come up with some guidance, but they're as lost as I've been in the past, I guess. Laurie, we're talking about reviews of the literature, which we think might be pretty popular. In a lot of cases could be real helpful for career development and some of the people that are doing non-thesis masters. So Laurie came up with some ideas and I tried to add to them a little bit. And so this is just a working draft. But once we come up with something we feel pretty comfortable with, we'll distribute that. If the student and the primary advisor thinks that they're going to go the literature review route. And one would be it ought to be an exhaustive review of the literature. We're not going to have a minimum because it depends on the topic, and we are saying that the maximum shouldn't be more than 200. And they have to be from reviewed sources and journals. That won't count referencing textbooks. I mean, referencing textbooks is fine, but it would be a footnote and not counted as references. Let's see. It would have a specific purpose. It would have a question to be answered. It would result in a recommendation, hopefully something that would be new to the literature. It would be of sufficient quality that it might be used by that person at a later time in their career to do original research, or somebody else that might want to do original research. It would have to be written in a AVMA format for reviews. It would be delivered to the graduate committee and perhaps others, depending on the committee's desires. And in the end, it would need to be prepared for a peer-reviewed journal. The objective in all of this is to try to use a literature review that would come up with new information that would be something that would be publishable and add to the knowledge of the profession, not just a rehash. It shouldn't be something like a textbook chapter. It needs to be more than just a catalog of past information. So if you guys have any ideas about whether some of this shouldn't be in there, or there's stuff that we ought to add to the guidelines that we would distribute, please let us know.
Yes,
Yeah.
can you send that as a draft?
What's that?
Because partly one of the things that's, when I look at this real quick, what's missing is that there's no documentation of the actual search and all that kind of thing. So I can help with the rubric of what you would actually want to see in the, what literature, whether you call it a sort of a systematic kind of literature review, what it would need to have in it in order to be counted as a systematic, or just a literature.
So you want a copy of that? I can email everybody after the meeting with a attachment. See if it, in case.
I have some students I'm working with, and one of the things I was thinking about as a potential is, quote, substantial project, but again, I'm not super familiar with the thoughts of what that might be. But one was, one's really wants to be a veterinary technician educator, so one thing I thought about with her is developing a course as a project, and another one I thought of was doing a literature review to some extent, but then developing some type of website or information source on that, or a way to use the information. So I don't know. Does anyone have any other ideas, like in general, what other colleges have done for non-thesis?
No.
Some of those things, I think, for the students I'm working with, are going to be stuff they would for sure use right away, and they could be substantial, but I also want to make sure that they meet the rigor of our goal too.
I think one of the things when you're thinking substantial is this going to benefit their profession? And because if you do a good literature review, that should be something that, you know, like for instance, icing of acute injury. Somebody who's concerned about that should be able to get that, pull up that literature review and go, oh
Yeah.
wow, look. It should be, it's helpful. And same with both of those sound like very, like to plan an online course is a great idea, I think. And also a website, because people use them so much.
Yeah.
With all this information on it and links and stuff, wouldn't that be nice? It'd be really nice.
Along with what you're mentioning, couple of courses that I help teach over there at UCMO, we have to create a course, but also we have to create a digital library, which is kind of like what you're talking about then.
Okay.
Because then the teachers use that back in their classrooms. They teach high
That's a good
schools.
idea, too.
Here's another thing I'd like for you to all keep in the back of your mind is that it doesn't have to be like laminitis in horses or valve defects in dogs. It could be online teaching, you know, because these guys are really involved in online learning, and some of them want to become instructors in vet tech programs and possibly in colleges of veterinary medicine. And I think that opens up a wide range of possibilities too, because there's very little on online learning in Journal of Veterinary Medical Education. So. And we would be interested in that too. And there is a lot of stuff out there that they could use as a template, I guess. You know, it's been done in other disciplines, and that they could follow and say, well, this is true in veterinary medicine, or it isn't true in veterinary medicine. Well, Lori's going to talk to you for a little bit. The only thing else I had is, the only thing I've thought of for next month is a carryover from last time, and that's by next month, my course will be done for the summer, and we've been using Examity rather than ProctorU, and I'll let you know if there's been any big difference between using Examity versus ProctorU. And if you have any other suggested topics for next month, let me know.
Are those still cost to students, both of those, Examity and ProctorU? Are those extra charges to the student?
I think it costs the same. When it was first proposed to me or brought to my attention, they said it was same as ProctorU, but it was going to be less expensive. It's not really, I don't think. I think the big advantage of it is that Examity provides reports that I think Mizzou Online better fits Mizzou Online's needs. So for us, I think it's a toss-up. And I've only given one exam with Examity so far, and we didn't have any problems with Examity. Problems with students, but didn't have any problems with Examity. And as far as I know, they accommodated our request to help the students very well. So, but so has ProctorU in the past. So.
Do you want to finish everything you need to talk about first?
What's that?
You were going to talk about the award for online teaching.
Oh, I am?
Oh, do you
Okay.
want to talk about that too? I can do that too.
Well, several years ago, we got in a small endowment. It was mainly for vet tech teaching. And so we've got some money that we can use to provide an award for online teaching. And my plan right now is to create a plaque that would be given yearly to someone who was determined to have special expertise in online teaching, and also a cash award, although I don't know how much that would be right now. Another thing that we're thinking about is that in addition to the instructor's plaque, we're kind of thinking about having a plaque where we list names by year. So every year, each year that a person would get that award, we'd add their name to it, and it would be in a public place here in the college where people could see not just the current ones, but the past ones. So if you have any comments or suggestions on that, let us know. Did I miss anything? So it's going to happen, but I can't tell you the details of how it's going to happen right now. You might give me some suggestions about what criteria should we use and how should the person be selected. It would be real easy to get online student input, so that could be a factor, but I don't want it to just be student opinion. No, we need more criteria. Oh. You better use this, or we'll have to do a ventriloquism
I have
act.
to wear this thing? Oh my goodness. do you have all these things around my neck? Okay. Go open this swine presentation here. That'd be fun. So is this E? No.
Is that yours?
Let's see. Should say cruiser. It's G right there.
G.
G. Yeah. Okay. Now I can find it. Okay. One of the things that that has not changed in the like almost 20 years since I left is that we still have all these faculty members who are trying to do twice as much as one person can do. And so we really want to try and make your preparation of your courses as easy as possible. So this is the way I think. I'm a template person. I have a template, I make a template, and I sock my stuff in, and then it's there. And so I asked Dr. Chastain a couple weeks ago, I said, do you think that they would be helpful to anybody else? And he says, yeah, let's try them. So I've gone ahead and put these together. I have a course schedule template, and I've made some copies of those back there. If any of you are interested in having me give you some of those, I've left a piece of paper back there if you want to sign your name and your email and check whichever one you want, and I can definitely email those to you. All you have to do with these is plug in stuff. I've put in the pertinent dates for this semester, like holidays and dates for when the last drop date is, the reading day, which is right before finals, when you have to have your grades turned in. So those things are all in there. It includes 3 tests and a final exam, and those are not required. I mean, you can have 4 tests, you can have 2 tests. 3 tests evenly spaced, I think, is a really good way to do it. I think it's breaks things up into good bites for students. And I know that a lot of different teachers have different contingencies for final exams. You know, if you already have an A, you don't have to take your final. So however you want to manipulate that is fine. But I put these in, and then you can just, I know all of you are very proficient in Microsoft Word or WordPerfect. And it also includes, this is the schedule here. And what this does is it gives you, and it looks weird because it went into color when I transferred it from Word into the PowerPoint. But this course schedule has references in it that correspond to the document that Dr. Chastain gives out. I think it's the 8 steps to teaching online, and it describes each of these components very carefully. So it begins by telling you should check your course number. You want to make sure when you get your course, you want to make sure that your course number fits in with what you have. And then you need to break your course into 8 units. Each of those units have 2 weeks in them. The weeks are each called sessions. So you have your units over here. And you can give them a name, title them, and you can call them something, the bony structures of the equine hoof. The next one could be the tendinous structures of the equine hoof, or however you're going to do that. That's up to you. But I put in, here's Labor Day, here's the last day to drop without a grade. Up there's where students can view the courses That's when that is open for you. And then I just put the dates in for each of the, so these are the units. Then each unit has 2 sessions within it. And then each session has the modules within it. So, and those are numbered over there. And you can put whatever it is you're going to do in each of those modules. So you can just, this is a Word document. You can just stick in whatever you need. At the end of this I had to break this up into several pages here because it's long. Put daylight savings time ends, which is one of those difficult transitions sometimes. Then here's the last date to withdraw, and then Unit 8, coursework ends, the reading day, then when grades are due, and then I usually put, there's Thanksgiving break. At the when you have finished this, June can help you put this stuff into your course online. So this is what this does. I mean, it's not required, but it's just a nice way to plug things in. So it's been helpful to me, and I definitely am glad to. If you want to see an actual copy of it, I've got some back there, and it's not quite as messy as this looks. This is the course outline template is actually what we just looked at. These titles got messed around somehow. Which is, this is, I've lost my course schedule back here. Let's go back here. Yeah. So there you go. Gives you that information. Course schedule. That's the basic that course schedule has the basic information in it that June needs to be able to set up your Blackboard course, and it's there, and she can get that in there. The course outline, that is about 5 pages long, and it allows you to put in objectives. It allows you to put in assignments and test questions as well, and it is also correlated to steps in online teaching. So these are both just templates that are available for you just to stick stuff in. So let me know if you want me to just sign up back there, and I can send that to you if that'll help you get your course together. So that's one thing that I have to talk about today. The second thing that I want to talk about is I want to talk about using some. There are, through Mizzou Online, we have development funds that are available to us. And one of the Dr. Chastain talked about this earlier, but one of the things that we have as a problem here is that everybody's trying to do a lot in a small amount of time. This, we would like to get some of these development funds to help us plan a workshop. I would call it probably a short course in preparing courses for graduate students or other online students. This is the little catchphrase here. I thought of this because the Journal of Online Teaching is called JOLT. And I thought, well, we're veterinaries, so we must be Volt. Anyway, this is just a little corny thing in here, but it's kind of cute. So we would like to just provide instructors the opportunity to get together with people that have expertise and allow them to put together their courses, but also give them the opportunity for that to be recognized. So the outcome of this would be not only that they would have these online courses prepared, but that they will also have the opportunity to have either an honorarium or just a stipend that would be provided to them, but also to allow them to have a certificate that would be suitable for promotion and tenure. We have funds that are available to us for creating online versions of existing campus programs. So we have a lot of faculty that have in-seat courses that would probably be very good for just modifying into an online format. Some of these funds can also be used for training and development events, which is what we would like to do. We would like to set something up so that we really bring a lot of people together that can really help provide some really quality online courses. We would hope that this short course could be a designated time for faculty to have the support and the time to convert their courses. We also want to look at this as an opportunity to inform faculty about other funds that are available. There's funds that are available for converting that can be given to an individual faculty member. So there's a variety of things that are available that can really be beneficial for you. Anytime that you receive that help for you, then that looks also as another something that can go on your was it MyZoo now that you put all your information in. Once this is done, the faculty member would receive a financial stipend and documentation that they've completed this. Some components, activities that would be designed to help develop skills for excellence in online teaching. There's been some research that's been done to show 7 steps to effective online teaching, and we can definitely set up activities that will help develop that. Provide the time and the help with actual course transfer and preparation. We have people that will come over from ET and MO. We have some great people here in the house that can help us set that up. Get some feedback from other online veterans. I think one of the things that we miss is we don't hear from other teachers who are like, yeah, well, I had all these students that couldn't take their test through Examity or whatever. I mean, I think that's almost as beneficial as anything else, is hearing from other instructors. This is another thing I would really like to try, is to bring in some information on how to create there's a lot of technology out there to help us create interactive modules, interactive labs, just interactive sites where you can drag and drop to label, let's say, anatomical structures. There's a lot of really cool stuff out there that's available, and I'd like to bring some of that in so that we could actually see that and think about modifying that into our courses. And then I think assessments are always a hot button. Are we really, are we asking the right kind of questions? Are we evaluating our students the best way to determine whether or not they really have learned this information? And definitely we want to hear what is going to be beneficial to other people. Every faculty member is probably going to have their own needs, and so we definitely want to be able to try and incorporate some of that into this too. So that's the idea. And that was such a cute picture. It really doesn't have to be just this horrible thing. It's really, I guess my vision for how this would work out is that we should be able to get things set up so that it can be fairly seamlessly moved from an in-seat to an online format for any teacher that really wants to do that. I mean, there's a lot of people that's not their desire, but for those people who want to do that, I really want to make this process as seamless as possible, and I want it to work. I want to make it work, because I think online teaching is just a really good way for us to have a very complete delivery of information for people. We have a lot of good in-seat teachers, we have a lot of good clinical teachers, and I just think this is a really great way to kind of put it all together. So, yeah.
So I think some of the obstacles to that is that we don't have courses that we teach the entire course and then we just move our course. They're mostly all team taught courses.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to kind of, prior to doing online teaching, I actually did not have a course that I managed entirely by
Okay.
myself. So I think in trying to encourage people toward
Okay.
Of making the course. Started, I'm very grateful that I have started with one course and have that,
Yeah.
taught that
Yeah.
a couple of years now and have found some of the challenges in doing that. I have an idea for another course, and that's just honestly time, that there's so many demands on
Yep.
my time elsewhere that I haven't had the time to sit down and think about how do more planning up front on it. So those might be some of the obstacles with other professors in vet med that it's a little different process than just going from here's an in-person course to your online course.
Sure.
I mean, other people can speak to that as well if they have the same concern about doing that.
The course I teach in animal sanitation was a team taught course, and it had to become a me taught, the team of one course. And I understand you really have to, it is a very different process. You really have to evaluate what you want to keep in, what more you could add that wasn't there before.
Well, and conversely, several of my online courses are actually team taught. I'll convince my residents that it's a really good learning process to teach 2 weeks in an online course, particularly if those are the 2 weeks I have to be out of town at a conference or I have poor Wi-Fi. And so, gives them experience and still bring in some of the team taught stuff, and that makes the burden off the instructors too. So I think trying to say you have to do it alone, I think could defeat the purpose too.
Well, and see, this is the kind of stuff that's so beneficial when you get people together, is to be able to share some ideas and see what works, what didn't work. Online teaching is very, we always think, oh, it's just this computer screen and you. But there's really just amazing numbers of things that you can do with it. So, that's the whole thing. And if we had a short course, that would be hopefully a time that could be designated in everybody's busy schedule to say, okay, I have an afternoon right here. I'm coming, and I'm going to get this done. I want to get this. I want to talk to somebody about this team taught course, or I want to figure out how in the world I'm supposed to write test questions over, left displaced abomasums or whatever, So I just think it would be I know in my experience, every time I go to a workshop, the best things I get out of it are from the other members, the other participants. And not that the leaders weren't good, it's just that being with other people is just so helpful. You see the real thing. So
I think encouraging a lot of people who have a slight interest,
Mhm.
especially I think some of the newer faculty, to just start with a 1-credit course. Because it's not very likely, I was in the exact same boat as Marie, only had done a team taught course, never had developed a whole course. It's not very likely that you're going to have enough time and enough knowledge to convert everybody on your team to take this pretty substantial big course and convert it. Maybe, I'm not so sure about the preclinical, if there are any more opportunities there, but I think there's people who have an interest in a kind of focal, smaller area of expertise that could just get in a little bit by developing maybe just one course for the summer and then kind of seeing how that goes. So I think we need to look that way more. I think a lot of people read something about converting their course and they think, well, I don't have a course, or they think, well, there's 12 people and I can't do all that, so then they kind of don't pursue their interest anymore.
Or even I know I was talking to another faculty member about some courses that they were thinking about, and even an introduction course could be nice. Introduction to whatever, a 1-hour course. Introduction to bovine metabolic disease. And you could make that a 1-hour course. If that's the piece of that class you teach, make it into an introductory course.
Yeah, right. I think that could be a great option.
So, that's,
The other big gap I've seen between, this is academics in general, but I think here compared to some of the other courses I've taken is what you said about the interactive software. When people have an expectation for online website where that stuff is pretty smooth and there is more like interactivity, or there are things drag and drop, and there's a lot more of that. And then you come to a typical course at a university and you don't have any of the dynamics that you might have had in a classroom if it was a smaller class. Of course, with a huge class, you don't have any. And you go to online and you just have the content. So you might have instructors that try to engage you and you do things through the discussion board, but people have an expectation, and I think a lot of our classes would really be set up to have more technology.
I think so too.
We actually aren't taking very much advantage of the technology that's out there, partly because it's expense and it takes someone with expertise to help you get set up. But like all the anatomy stuff we do and the radiology stuff we do, there could be huge benefits
Yeah,
if we
yeah.
got the right software, the right setup. But we're kind of presenting it just as like, here's a PowerPoint of radiographs, or here's a, and I think pretty soon that there's going to be more and more sites that have better and better of that, and if we don't get up to speed a little bit, ours are going to look just like straight content, read and take a test on what you read courses, and I think it's going to be
Well, and see,
a problem
it's
for us.
that's another modality for learning. Also, is to be is to be interactive.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's that anything we can do to bring in another learning modality into online education is very good. You know, hearing, seeing, you know,
Yeah.
kinesthetic,
Spatial.
spatial, you know, or you know, even real-time discussions are very helpful too. So go ahead.
I think one of the things that was really intimidating when we first got into this is we went to the main campus seminars, and like all these people that were doing the online stuff showed us their amazing courses, and I kind of went, holy.
Yeah.
And they said, no, this took me like 6 different years to slowly build up. When I first started, it was this. And so
Yeah.
I think having a range of examples
Mhm,
for people, if we do this, would be helpful.
Yeah.
Look, your first year you get it. It can be fairly, you know, simple and okay, and then you learn and build. And I think that was a step I feel like I almost didn't take the first step because I thought I had to step over here.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
But see, that's
And with your intro courses, I just thought of something. You know, faculty could actually create courses for Natalie Review based on their little subspecialties and get credit for teaching those. And they could do it online for students with electives during the senior year. That's a reasonable idea.
The other thing actually I think that's helpful is doing an online course, whether it's the online, you know, through the main campus online teaching course, which I thought was really good. And then I had taken an online course in pursuit of MPH that ended up being a really good course. So never having taken an online course before, those experiences, I think having exposure in that
Is
setting,
very good for you.
What is an online course
Mhm.
helps. I would never have considered online teaching if I hadn't taken my MPH course. So
to be a student is very good. Very good. It's very good.
But it ended up being a really good
Yeah.
experience. So and the online, you know, the online course design course I thought was really good as well. And those discussions are still going on, so I've liked that group.
And it's offered in Canvas, so it's fully on Canvas, which they have not officially said they're changing, by the way. Just let you know.
You know they're going to do it, or they would have just shut up about Canvas. You know, Canvas would have just died off somewhere if they weren't going to do it.
The deadline is when they cut off Blackboard. I need
Oh yeah, that's probably important.
And they're
Yeah.
not formally announced.
Stacy, you don't know, do you?
I do not.
Okay. I don't know if you guys have met Stacy Ostertune. She's from Mizzou Online. She's our go-to helpful person over there. She's our boss. Yeah, she's our boss. Yeah, she's just also very encouraging and helpful too, which is nice.
Laurie and I were talking about the interactive labs beforehand. And I totally agree. I think we ought to use them as much as we can, but I think we have to be careful about how we use them too, because they can be technologically fragile.
Yes.
Right? You don't want the whole course to crash because the interactive lab isn't working. Or, and you also don't want to be left high and dry if some company that's doing that goes belly up. So
or if you have, like he said, like a student who's still has dial-up internet somewhere off in the boonies, you know, and it
Yeah.
doesn't. I've actually had that happen in some of my previous courses, and I mean that was just students that lived here in Columbia, but they just didn't have a machine that would load the images fast enough. You know, especially if you're using real images, it takes a while if you don't have a.
Right, and I think we could
Yeah.
get to depending on like one software company or something.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna be a problem just from talking to other people who take courses and just what the expectations are gonna be if we don't do a little bit more of that in the courses where it's indicated.
The bells and whistles are nice because they do, even if it's not something that you use the whole course, if you use it just once or twice in there, I think it's attractive, it's engaging.
And it can be a better way to learn.
Absolutely, absolutely, I agree.
You know, more tactile and more spatial
Mhm.
for some of the stuff that we
Yep.
teach.
Yep. Dr. Barrett sent me some links. You sent me some links on some of those, and there's a couple of those that looked very interesting. One of them, this is a company that does virtual labs, so you can, let's say you wanted to do a fecal flotation. You can set up the whole process of, I mean, maybe you could even do the collection of the fecal. I don't know, because there's a right and wrong way to collect it, you know, really. So, and it just goes through every single step, and then it has, you know, the microscope view of each of the fields, and you know, and so it would be probably a good thing to do for some of those, or to count, you know, do a cell count on a pleural effusion or something like that, or transtracheal wash or something like that. So we can do it. We can do it.
We have lots of opportunities.
Yeah, and it
Just
doesn't.
to get in there a little bit, not to.
Yeah, and just keep
dominate the course.
moving forward. Keep doing something kind of fun and new. I think is a good thing. Yeah. Well, that's great because I need to go write these things down. Anything else?
I actually went to we went to the Vet Educator Conference, and in their technology and teaching presentation, they had, and these ETMO may have these, but it was I thought a good presentation of Lynn's taxonomy with the design wheel that talked about different assessment activities and
Ooh, nice.
that matched with each of the different steps in the taxonomy and different action verbs with it. And it's also a very pretty color, so it's quite nice. And I don't have an electronic copy of this, but I'll scan it in. And then they had the other paper, which I don't see in my stuff right now. I've got it somewhere in here, but actually it was a list of different, whatever it is you're kind of aiming for on your objective, different tools that would go with that. And I think I have seen something with that for ETMO before as well, but I thought they were nice, concise.
That is nice.